Hello, my dear students. Today, we're going to discuss some important reactions of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, and these reactions of carbohydrates are very often asked in your exams. Basically, where the MCQ type exam is not very important, where the written exam is important, and basically these type of reactions are different kinds of civil service exams of different states, your central civil service exam, where you have to write down thoroughly. Okay, so in every state, the syllabus of optional chemistry includes carbohydrate, and where you are very often encounter such problems. uh, Conversion. Okay, conversion 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 of aldose conversion of aldose to ketose, conversion of aldose to ketose, conversion of aldose to ketose. Okay, so basically we want to know the conversion of glucose. Glucose is a kind of aldose, so conversion of glucose from fructose, uh, glucose to fructose. Very often, it is very important questions. Very important questions for civil service exam with optional chemistry. Okay, and I and in different teaching recruitment exam for chemistry for different states as well as central schools. Okay, so glucose to fructose. How how will you how will you carry out the transformation? Okay, so what is the structure of glucose? This is the structure of glucose. Starting with the structure of glucose, C C and this is the structure of glucose. This is the open chain structure. This is the open chain structure of glucose. So treat the glucose molecule with phenyl hydrazine. In our previous class, we have already gone through this problem. Uh, the reaction. This is the reaction between the phenyl hydrazine and glucose and heat, and it gives glucoosazone. It gives glucoosazone uh, like this. The reaction is very important, as we have known in our previous class, and we have dedicated a full class on this particular reaction. Okay, so you can understand how the reaction is important. So this is the glucoosazone. This is, you all know this, and I will provide the link of the previous class in the description box. You can go through this link to the previous class where I have discussed the this reaction, particularly this reaction. So this is glucoosazone. This is glucoosazone. Okay, so if the glucoosazone is treated in dilute HCl, the glucoosazone is treated in dilute HCl. And student, I am requesting all of you to please write down the notes. Okay, look, chemistry is a matter of practice. Every subject, not only chemistry, every subject is a matter of practice. Okay, more you practice, more you getting the knowledge. Okay, and the more you can memorize. Okay, so dilute HCl. If the glucoosazone is treated with the dilute HCl, it gives glucoosone. What? It gives glucoosone. uh, it gives glucoosone. Look, the ketocarbonyl already appears here, and the rest of the portion from 3 to 6 carbon atom, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest of the carbon atom remains same. Mm, this is glucoosone. This is glucoosone. This is glucoosone. If the glucoosone is reduced, if the glucoosone is reduced with zinc and acetic acid, if the glucoosone is reduced with zinc and acetic acid, it will give what? The reduced means the aldehydic carbon, this aldehydic carbon will be reduced to 1 degree alcohol. So the first carbon atom becomes primary aldehydic carbon. Primary alcoholic carbon. The first carbon atom becomes primary alcoholic carbon. The aldehydic, this aldehydic carbon atom becomes primary alcoholic carbon atom here. So this is our glucose. So this is our glucose. Write down the equation, the glucose to fructose. Okay, please write down the equation by pausing the video. Okay, my dear friends, then in our next session we'll see the reverse, that is fructose to glucose. In our next session we'll see the conversion of ketose to aldose. Conversion of ketose to aldose. In my personal experiences, these two reactions are very useful, where basically the broad question comes, these particular two reactions are very important. So conversion of ketose to aldose, that is from fructose to glucose, from fructose to what? To glucose, from fructose to glucose, preparation of glucose from fructose. So starting from the fructose, first the fructose, this is our fructose molecule. This is our fructose molecule. If the fructose molecule is reduced to by presence of sodium, it reduced to the sodium, then all the carbon molecules become alcoholic carbon, all the carbon molecules. Okay, so first, and here only this carbon atom is the ketonic carbon, and when it is reduced in presence of sodium, it becomes a secondary alcoholic carbon. So first, as it is CH2H, but this carbon atom, this second carbon atom becomes the secondary alcoholic carbon, as in case of 3 to 5, the carbon number 3 to 5. So it is a main key step where the keto functional group becomes alcoholic. Then treat with the oxidized with presence of nitric acid. Oxidize it in presence of nitric acid, and when you oxidize it, the first carbon atom becomes carboxylic. The first carbon atom becomes the carboxylic carbon. and then just hit this compound, and if you hit this compound it gives the gamma lactone. What is the structure of gamma lactone? First I'm writing the sixth carbon atom here. Mm, there is one carbon atom more, and there is a bond between the two carbon atom. There is a bond between these two carbon atom, where the one, two, three, four carbon atom, first two, four. Okay, and these two carbon atom will be as it is. Okay. So this is one, two, three, four, five. This is a five-member ring, and this is called gamma lactone. This is called gamma lactone. Okay, so this molecule is called gamma lactone. Okay, and if you treat this gamma lactone in sodium amalgam, then reduction will be occurred. If you treat this gamma lactone in sodium amalgam, then reduction will be occurred and it gives glucose. This is glucose. This is actually D plus glucose. This is D plus glucose. Okay. So please write down the reactions. Write down the four step: first, second, third, fourth. In which fructose is being transformed to beta D, D plus glucose. Okay. Mm, so, my dear students, today we will stop here, and hope you will enjoy the class. And in our very next class, we will see how the lower carbohydrate, that is, lower carbohydrate, can be transferred into the higher carbohydrate, that is from aldopentose to aldohexose, and vice versa. That is from aldohexose to aldopentose. Okay. So till then, goodbye, and please subscribe my channel to get more important classes. Okay, so enjoy.